Family Guy Season 1, Episode 7, Brian, Portrait of a Dog. Please subscribe to my channel. Today, on a warm, breezy afternoon in Quahog, Rhode Island, I invite you to join me on an unforgettable journey into the heart of this quirky episode. The familiar streets of Spooner Street shine with the gentle glow of a sun that seems to promise endless possibility for every resident. As I set the scene, I picture the neatly trimmed lawns and the cheerful disarray of mailboxes that hint at the simmering mischief within the town. In the heart of the Griffin household, the vibrant chaos unfolds in a way that feels both wild and strangely inviting. There, Peter Griffin's larger-than-life spirit is about to set off a cascade of events that will test the bonds of family and self-worth alike. I describe the essence of this day with vivid imagery, the gentle hum of everyday life contrasted against the impending clash of humor and heartfelt moments. This narrative is built upon the interactions of a family, unafraid to face life's absurdities. Lois's quiet determination, Peter's unfiltered enthusiasm, Brian's reflective dignity, and young Stewie's mischievous undertones all contribute to the colorful tapestry of this memorable slice of animated life. With every carefully chosen detail, I aim to capture the spirit of the episode, a blend of playful irreverence and profound reflection. As the viewer's eyes follow the unfolding scenes, the invitation to subscribe underscores the sense of belonging in this shared experience. I gently guide you into the world of Family Guy, where every unexpected twist contributes to the joy of everyday adventures, and where the mundane meets the extraordinary in the form of both laughter and tender self-discovery. Today's narrative is not merely a recapitulation of events. It is a deep dive into the emotions, missteps, and eventual reconciliation that define the essence of this quirky yet heartfelt story. I now recall the spark of chaos that ignited the day when Peter Griffin, ever impulsive and brimming with audacity, devised his latest unpredictable plan. On that breezy afternoon, as the golden light caressed the familiar streets, Peter burst into the living room, carrying a crumpled flyer high above his head. His eyes gleamed with determination and mischief as he conveyed his wild idea to the family, claiming that nothing could be more bonding than the extraordinary opportunity that lay ahead. In the charged atmosphere of the Griffin household, every family member bore the silent mark of anticipation and inevitable disbelief. Lois, who had measured every adventure with care and skepticism from years of Peter's antics, regarded the flyer with a mixture of resignation and practicality. The air grew thick with the unspoken tension between familial duty and the far-flung consequences of Peter's impulsivity. Brian, with his quiet dignity and perceptive nature, observed the unfolding scene from a well-worn corner, his inner thoughts reflecting his reluctance to be typecast as nothing more than a prop in a farcical venture. In the same breath, Stewie's presence was felt as he surveyed the room with a calculating gaze, already picturing the ironies of fate that lay ahead. This moment was spun with threads of both humor and pathos, encapsulating the very essence of a family that thrived on chaos, yet yearned for understanding. The narrative paints a picture of an ordinary day transformed by an extraordinary plan, one that would soon lead to moments of hilarity, regret, and unexpected wisdom. Every element of that scene, from Peter's exuberance to Brian's measured reserve, laid the groundwork for a day that promised to be as unpredictable as it was transformative. The day's adventure materialized at the Quahog Annual Dog Show, a spectacle loaded with pageantry and the promise of strangeness. Under a sky dotted with soft clouds, the park became a stage where meticulous preparation met the wild unpredictability of life. In this setting, Brian, our well-read and quietly sardonic canine, was reluctantly cast into the spotlight. Amid the orchestrated chaos, the transformation of Brian took center stage, a frenetic yet colorful montage where every brushstroke and spritz of perfume conspired to mask his natural grace. The park was abuzz with the energy of overzealous dog owners and the yaps of tiny Pomeranians, all vying for perfection in a realm that prized pomp and circumstance. My narration captures the intrinsic absurdity of it all, a nod to an event where appearance and display often obscure genuine character. The thorough preparations and meticulous grooming sessions were described with a hint of playful irony. Peter took on the mantle of both director and drill sergeant, his determined efforts underscored by the absurdity of a man relishing the role of commander of canine showmanship. As the crowd gathered and the judges took their place with stony expressions, the tension tightened. Every elegant stance, every forced wag spoke to a deeper struggle beneath the surface, an inner conflict between dignity and the demand to perform. When the final verdict favored a prim poodle adorned with an overly extravagant accessory, the sting of public disfavor settled heavily upon Brian. In the wake of public embarrassment and internal turmoil, Brian made the weighty decision to leave the warmth of the Griffin household. With a heavy heart and a determined step, he set off on a solitary journey through the less forgiving corners of Quahog. This departure was painted as both a physical escape and an emotional quest, a step toward reclaiming an identity that had been compromised by being reduced to a mere object of amusement. As I describe Brian's solitary trek, the streets transform into a mosaic of dimly lit alleys and unexpected encounters. Each step on the cracked pavement mirrors his inner struggle, a poignant contrast to the vibrant chaos he once knew. His wandering path took him through neighborhoods that exuded both charm and rough edges, where the warmth of diverse humanity mingled with harsh realities. The narrative unveils moments of introspection as Brian questioned the value of his existence, reliving memories of affectionate moments now tainted by humiliation. There were instances where a chance encounter with a kindly stranger or the brief shelter of an animal pound revealed unexpected kindness amid adversity. In a narrow alley, the reverberations of his silent sorrow were met with the grim reality of an irate passersby and surreal interactions that underscored his loneliness. Meanwhile, back at the Griffin household, the mood shifted as Peter's realization of his grievous mistake began to sink in. The laughter and careless cheer gave way to moments of remorse that grew into a profound internal conflict, a silent reckoning with the hurt he had inflicted upon his closest friend. In this reflective state, Peter was portrayed as a man haunted by the consequences of his impulsive actions, his eyes revealing a depth of regret that belied his usual exuberance. The narrative chronicles Peter's erratic yet earnest decision to set things right, sparking off a chaotic rescue mission charged with both slapstick humor and an undercurrent of desperate sincerity. With every misstep and every outlandish plan, from donning a ludicrous dog costume to attempting bribes with beer for the animal control officers, Peter's journey was filled with a mix of comedy and heartfelt regret. The scenes unfold in a series of almost cinematic misadventures that capture both the absurdity and the nobility of his intentions. Lois, ever the pillar of pragmatism, lent her quiet strength to the unfolding rescue by offering gentle insights and pragmatic admonishments, while Stewie's amused observations sprinkled the air with a hint of calculated irony. As Peter stumbled through one ill-conceived plan after another, it became clear that this was not a mere endeavor to reclaim a runaway pet, but a symbolic attempt to restore a fractured family bond. In each bumbling step, the narrative captured the transformative power of remorse and the lengths to which one might go when driven by the realization of a profound misjudgment. Peter's chaotic rescue mission emerged not just as a series of comical escapades, but as a heartfelt journey towards redemption. A journey that was as unpredictable as it was sincere, and which ultimately heralded the true meaning of familial love and loyalty. At last, the moment of reunion arrived, an emotionally charged convergence of regret, forgiveness, and the resilience of family ties. As the narrative unfolds, the scene captures Peter's desperate yet sincere effort to bring Brian back into the fold of the Griffin household. The air is thick with anticipation, as the chaos of previous misadventures gives way to a bittersweet reunion, marked by the silent understanding of deep-seated regret and mutual recognition of shared pain. In this reflective hour, every detail resonates: the quiet nods of acceptance, the subtle caresses that convey apology without words, and a gentle acknowledgement of the hardships endured. The narrative gracefully transitions into the ripple effects of Brian's return. A quirky radio contest soon becomes the stage for the couple's epic tale, a retelling that transforms their personal misfortune into a public narrative of resilience. The spoken recollections are captured in a documentary that not only amplifies Brian's struggle for dignity, but also highlights the journey toward acceptance. This consequential turn of events ripples out across Quahog. Brian's newfound recognition is not solely mapped in the fleeting praise of strangers, but is bound to the realization within the Griffin household that he was never just a pet. The quiet reassessment of family values and casual moments of heartfelt reflection become the cornerstone of the transformation that follows. In the tapestry of events, the public adulation, however ironic, serves as a mirror reflecting the silent growth of every character. Brian, now painted as a reluctant but honorable celebrity, unknowingly redefines what it means to belong in a world that often mistakes spectacle for substance. In the gentle twilight of a day, rewoven with lessons and laughter, the threads of reconciliation and new beginnings begin to take shape. In the quiet corners of the Griffin household, where chaos meets calm, I reflect on the transformative power of both regret and forgiveness. The narrative draws to a close with subtle yet powerful images. Brian curled up peacefully on the familiar couch, his thoughtful gaze and dry wit marking a return not just of a dog, but of a cherished family member. Stewie's mischievous smile, hinting at future adventures with an understated nod to the world beyond, and Peter, whose well-intentioned antics have finally given way to a tender recognition of the pain he once caused. In a series of reflective moments, the story embraces a spirit of renewal, capturing the essence of life in Quahog, a kaleidoscope of humor, unexpected missteps, and heartwarming reconciliations. Small everyday rituals, like Peter's sentimental crafting of a new collar engraved with the words "my friend," or a shared moment of laughter over a silly radio contest, serve to underscore the quiet, enduring love that binds the family together. The narrative paints the final picture with a sense of calm assurance, a family united, not despite its flaws, but because of them. Every misadventure, every tear and smile has led to this embrace of imperfection and the promise of better days ahead. In the gentle cadence of concluding reflections, I evoke a timeless truth, that despite the chaos of missteps and the sting of regret, the resilient bonds of family shine through, bringing warmth, laughter, and forgiveness into even the most unpredictable moments.